Hi, Shepherd's Pie. Greetings from the Philippines. Welcome back to the channel for another interview. I'm spoiling you on the interview front this last couple of uploads. I'm sat down here today with my very good friend Joe, who I have known for a couple of years now. Joe has been kind enough to sit down and agreed to do an interview. He was inspired by John on the last one, so I've got them knocking at my doors now to do interviews. Right, so Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself, mate. Where are you from? Where did it all begin?
I'm from southeast Tennessee originally, a little town called Cleveland over by Chattanooga. Spent 18 years there, joined the Navy, left for about 13 years, went back home for 8, and then I moved out here.
Well, that was the quickest interview I've ever done. So there we go. That was it. Let's rewind a little bit because this is going to be a 2-minute job at this rate. So Cleveland, obviously not the Cleveland, Ohio. It was Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yes.
And how big was that? Small town, I'm guessing. I've never heard of it.
The entire county, it's Bradley County, has about maybe 70 to 80,000 people.
So it's not too small. Smaller than Dumaguete, but not tiny.
Yeah, a little bit smaller than Dumaguete.
What was it like growing up there? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, normal southern childhood. You had ride your bikes around the neighborhood and stay out until sun goes down and then come home.
Sounds safe. Potentially sounds a bit boring, or was it?
It was fairly boring, yeah. There's not much to do in my hometown. We had a roller skating rink. That was the thing to do on Friday nights.
That was the highlight. Nothing wrong with roller skating. Good wholesome fun. So you went to school. Did you enjoy school?
I found it boring. So it was rather tedious more than anything.
What was your first job when you left school? Did you go straight to the Navy or did you do something first?
I mean, I did restaurant jobs while I was in high school, but afterwards I left for the Navy pretty much within 6 months of graduation.
Was that something you had always planned to do, or was it a spur of the moment thing?
My high school girlfriend and I broke up, and it seemed everywhere I went, she was there, and I got tired of running into her, so I went to the Navy recruiters and I said, where do I sign?
Really? You wanted to get away from an ex?
Yes.
Well, that's extreme. What made you choose the Navy then, over the Army or the Air Force?
They had better opportunities. I could choose the job I wanted, and I wasn't just going to be a grunt somewhere, so I became a mechanic, and that's what I did in the Navy. I was a mechanic. 4 years I spent in the fleet working on hydraulics, air conditioning, auxiliary systems on the ship. Then I cross-traded to the Seabees, and I was a construction mechanic working on construction equipment, so bulldozers, loaders, big trucks, things like that.
So you got a trade out of it? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, that's good. So 4 years, that's all you did?
8 total. I did 4 years in the fleet, 4 years in the Seabees.
Oh, you did 8 years, okay, because I was about to say if you enjoyed it so much, why don't you do 4? So you did 8?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you leave at the end of 8? I mean, was it changing?
I was married at the time, and our next deployment was going back to Iraq, and my wife at the time did not want me going back to Iraq, so she convinced me to get out.
Okay. And do you regret that decision, or are you happy?
I don't really think you should ever regret any decision you make, because every decision leads you down the path that you're intended to take. If I could do it differently, would I? Probably. I would have probably stayed in for the full 20, but...
Really?
But who knows? I might not have made the full 20. Might have gotten in trouble for DUI or something like that and got kicked out and not have the benefits that I have now.
Yeah, no, that's good. I have to say, I'm surprised. I, for some reason, thought you'd done 4 years, so 8 years. Yeah, that makes. I only did 9 in the Air Force, but I knew from day one I was never going to do the 20. That's why I was asking you if you had any thoughts on that. So, okay, you came out because of the wife, or she was a driving force. What did you do then?
I got a job with a forklift company, traveling the country working on forklifts, the forklifts that take the boats out of the water and put them in dry stack in the marinas. I worked for a manufacturer of those forklifts and traveled the country doing warranty repairs.
And is this a job you wouldn't have been able to get if you hadn't learned the trade in the Navy?
Yes, I would not have got that job without already having
Specialist knowledge.
um, an extensive amount of experience working on hydraulic systems.
And was the pay good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying you're benefiting from having the trade when you come
Yes.
out. Yeah. So you've got a good job.
Yeah, I didn't
Better
come out
pay.
and go back into a restaurant or something and just twiddle my thumbs and waste my life away.
And what was travelling the country like? Was it fun or was it a bore after a while?
It was neat. I mean, I'd already traveled the world in the Navy, so it was a different experience. I mean, I'd lived in different places: South Carolina, Florida, California, Virginia, while I was in the Navy. But to be able to travel and all around the state of Florida, Louisiana, New York, all up North Carolina, anywhere where there's marinas, and we had a forklift I got to travel to. So it was interesting seeing my own country after already seeing the world.
Nice. So you say you saw the world when you were in the Navy. I should have asked you some of the places you've been to. What was your favourite port? Where was the best place you went to in the Navy, and where was the worst?
I go back and forth on the best place. I went to Sevastopol, which at the time was part of the Ukraine. Now it's part of Russia. And I loved it there, but I also loved Marmaris, Turkey. That was a great place. Dublin, Ireland was unique. And I had a good time in Tarragona, Spain. I was actually stationed in Italy for 2 years. I used to spend every weekend partying in Rome. I miss those days.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to mention some Southeast Asian countries.
I was never a West Coast sailor. I was an East Coast sailor.
Wow.
So I never made it out to, never made a Westpac. So
Is
never.
that how it works then?
Yeah.
You've got to, the hemispheres are divided up certain.
Pretty
fleets and
much.
that.
If you're on the east side, then you do med cruises and into the Persian Gulf. West side, you do Southeast Asia, Australia, and into the Persian Gulf.
I did not know that. If anyone is in the British Navy who watches this, is it the same in the Navy? Because that is something I never ever occurred to me would be a thing, and I've got no idea. That's interesting. So how long did you do this dry dock intake hydraulics around the world, around the States?
I did that for about 3 years. And then my marriage wound up falling apart. We had spent too much time together. I mean, the relationship was built on me being gone on a regular basis for extended periods of time, not just a few days.
So if you had gone to Iraq, you'd be celebrating your Jubilee wedding now.
Probably, yeah. But no, the marriage fell apart. I was planning on leaving California. Well, we were planning on leaving California. Then the marriage fell apart. And I decided I wasn't ready to go back home because my mom does not like drinking. And I was a bit of a, you think I'm a heavy drinker now, I was a very heavy drinker then.
I don't think you're a heavy drinker. I think you're a moderate to high drinker. No, you're not at all. When did you marry then? Because we skipped that bit out. Did you meet her when you were in the Navy?
Yeah, I met her. I met her whenever I got back from my first deployment in Iraq. She was a waitress at a karaoke bar I used to go to in Oxnard, California.
They play Barbie Girl.
Don't bring that up.
Okay, so the marriage went down. So you went home then?
No, I stayed in California for about 2 more years.
Right.
Wound up in another relationship that failed, and at that point, I had to go home. I was spiraling, so I had to go home and kind of get a sense of grounding.
Very wise, very wise. And that was back to Cleveland?
Yeah, back to Cleveland, and there I got a job. At first, I was working for a valve repair shop, so like the big industrial valves and big plants and stuff. We would take the valves out. I was working on the pressure relief valves, resetting them, cleaning them, making sure all the springs and stuff work. Did that for a few years, and then I got a job as the lead mechanic at a Love's truck stop.
And the Love's truck stop? Oh, the company's called Love's?
Yeah, the company's
so
Love's.
Mine was boggling, and I thought a Love truck stop. I thought, that sounds decidedly dodgy.
No, Love's. It's a company based out of Oklahoma City.
What about the ex that you'd joined the Navy to get away from though? Was she still living there? Did you pass caring then, or did she actually moved on?
I was past caring at that point. We eventually became friends later on, and I mean, I still talk to her every once in a while. We're just
very magnanimous of you. So what age are we at now?
At this point, I'm in my early 30s.
Yeah. Well, you're still a young chap now today, aren't you?
Yeah, I moved here at 41. I'm 44 now.
Okay, well, live that. So what did you do in between that point we just got to and when you decided to come to the Philippines?
My body was breaking down, so I couldn't do the heavy lifting, working and wrenching on things anymore. So I got a job at a call center as for an appliance company, and technicians would call in whenever they needed help repairing an appliance.
Right.
And I would tell them what to do to repair whatever was wrong with the appliance they were working on.
Okay, that's not so you weren't dealing with a general public cold call.
No, I was
tech line, yeah.
Tech line, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I won't ask you if you enjoyed that because I'm guessing you probably. Did you enjoy it?
It's interesting because you have to. Whenever a tech calls in, they're going to tell you about 75 things, and only 5 of them are true. And you've got to kind of extrapolate by asking different questions to get to what the actual issue is. So it's intriguing, it's interesting, and it's challenging, but it also got to a point where it was just redundant.
Why was your body breaking down, if you don't mind me asking? Was that an illness or
no, just old injuries. I hyperextended my knee, I tore my ACL, MCL, PCL. I've had multiple shoulder surgeries. My neck and my back are screwed. I've got arthritis really bad, just from old injuries in the military.
Why are you having so many injuries?
I don't know if I can say this. You might have to bleep this out. But we used to call it young, dumb, full of cum, anything to get the job done.
Right.
So I put my body through hell to get the job done because that was a work ethic that I had that I wasn't going to be stopped because I let one little thing get in my way.
Wow. That's nothing could be more polar opposite than my attitude when I was in the forces. But there you go. Fair play to you, fair play to you. Right, so at what point did you decide that you were going to come to the Philippines? Was it while you were in the call center?
While I was in the call center, I had my third shoulder surgery, and I was out of work for about six months, which was the max that I could be out of work and still get paid.
And were you being looked after by like the VA? I mean, were you out of pocket for this, or were they taking care
No,
of it?
the VA did the shoulder surgery, and I had short-term disability from work that still paid me my regular paycheck while I was out due to the injury. So I was sitting at home for 6 months, couldn't really do anything, go to physical therapy and come back home, and had to be helped with pretty much everything because I'm left arm dominant. It's my left shoulder that I had the surgeries on. So I would sit at home, be bored, start watching YouTube videos, and
There we go.
and there you find Old Dog, you find Philly in the Philippines, Vagabond Awake, all these guys, and I'm watching these videos and I think to myself, because everybody that's interviewed or the majority of interviews, the majority of people doing the videos were between 75 and dead and had just moved here, and it's like, what kind of life can you really enjoy at that age? And once my body broke down to the point that I couldn't do the call center job anymore, was right around COVID, and I just decided, you know what, I can afford it. As soon as this COVID travel, travel restrictions are lifted, then I'm just going to move. So I waited, I bought a one-way ticket. My friends called me stupid. Why are you getting a one-way ticket? What if you don't like it? Well, if I don't like it, there's all kinds of other cities in the Philippines, and if I don't like any of them, there's all kinds of other countries in the world that I can live in.
So hold on a minute. You basically decided to come here without ever being here, just based on the YouTube videos.
Yes, the reason I chose the Philippines first is less of a language barrier, because English is, if not spoken by a lot of people, it's understood by just about everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. There weren't any other countries in the running. You weren't considering maybe Colombia. It was always the Philippines, or were you thinking, well,
yes,
maybe there?
It was always the Philippines. I like, with my joint issues, the constant and consistent weather was a big thing. You know, we don't have, like, back home we've got 4 seasons. You've got warm spring, hot summer, mild fall, and very cold winter. So your body can never get used to just one temperature range. It's got to constantly adapt. So it was a weather thing, because pretty much the temperature is the same year round here. I mean, it might fluctuate, 5 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year, but that's about it.
And that's good, obviously, for the joints and things, yeah.
And then the English was a big thing, and it's actually been really good for my health moving here. Whenever I moved here, I was 270 pounds or 122 kilos.
Yeah, that blows my mind. I only found it out about 2 weeks ago when we were talking.
I actually dropped down to about 170 or about 80 kilos, and now I've settled down about 180, 185 or 85 kilos.
Well, the time I've known you, you've never been what I would consider overweight. You've always been quite svelte-like. So I'm amazed that you were big before I met you, because you don't look like you were. So what were your... You came here because of obviously the vlogs, and you'd seen for various other reasons. What was Doomageddon like when you were, in terms of, was it what you anticipated? Did it catch you by surprise? Was it better? Was it worse? You know what I'm getting at?
I called my brother-in-law the third day that I was in Doomageddon, and I said, I have finally found home.
Really?
So I've been in love with this place since I moved here.
And what year are we talking about now? Just
2023.
23.
January of 2023.
Good Lord.
Part of it might have to do with the fact it was 11 degrees Fahrenheit whenever I got on the airport, or on the plane at the airport in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I had to pretty much strip naked whenever I landed in Manila.
And what were you smuggling?
A lot of excess weight.
Well, that's great that you fell in love with it first straight away. I'm always amazed when people say that, but because it was a long burn for me, but fair play to you. So what was it exactly? It was the weather, it was the people, it was
the people. Like if you walk around, like, Silliman Beach, very nasty beach. You don't really want to go swim there, but just go walk over there on the weekends and see how happy everybody there is. I mean, some of these people don't have a pot to piss in, but you'll never see them without a smile on their face. They're always gracious. If they've got something, they'll offer it to you. And if you really want to make their day, take them a grande of Red Horse and see how big they smile and how happy they are.
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, it's nice. The people are a big factor. But has it changed? I mean, you haven't been here as long as John, but in the 3 years you've been here, has it changed a lot?
It has. But a lot of it doesn't have anything to do with the locals. A lot of it has to do with other expats. And that's been my experience. If you have an issue with somebody, it's more than likely going to be another expat, not going to be a local. Like, I can walk through any part of town where there's locals and I feel completely safe. But there's certain places I go, if there's certain expats there, then I just stay away from it because I know there's going to be issues.
Really? Fair enough. We have to talk about that off camera. Don't want you naming anyone.
Oh, I won't name anybody.
So, obviously you're single now.
Yes, recently.
We won't go into your recent unless you want to.
No, we won't.
I'm assuming you don't.
We'll leave that one alone.
How long were you? No, what I'm saying is, how long were you single when you first got here?
Very briefly, a couple of weeks. Got with my first girlfriend, who I have a child with, but we broke up before we found out she was pregnant.
Oh, this is a big part. We've missed it. I'm glad I came back with that.
Yeah. So I've got my daughter, Daniela, 2.5 years old. I love her to death. And then started dating the second girlfriend before I found out the ex was pregnant. And told her as soon as I found out the ex was pregnant so she could have the decision. She chose to stay with me. We were together 3 years, as you know, and just recently split up. So, yeah, haven't really been single at all since I've been here.
Is it different when you're single in terms of Doomageddon, the city? Do you still feel the same way about it?
It's more treacherous being single, I think. You make a lot of stupid decisions, or you possibly make a lot of stupid decisions, or you can make a lot of stupid decisions if you allow yourself to.
I know what you mean. Because I do very much, I've said it before, I think the Philippines, certainly Doomageddon, is somewhere you need to be in a relationship. If you're
Yes.
not in a relationship, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah,
But that's
it
just
can-
me. But you'll be in one soon. I know what you're like.
Serial monogamist?
This is a serial monogamist. Yeah. So, do you see yourself moving anywhere in the future?
Probably not. I'm going to stay in the general area, whether it be, Bakang, Valencia, Dumaguete, Cebulan, somewhere in this general area.
Have you travelled much in the Philippines? Have you been to other islands?
Yeah, Bohol, Siquijor, Apo, Longapo, Manila, Cebu, Oslab, which is on Cebu Island, just across the way here.
Well, I won't ask you why you didn't choose to live in Oslo, because I've been there a couple. There's nothing there. It's dead.
Nothing
it's a ghost
there.
town. I don't know why people go there. I really don't.
We went for just a short vacation. So not really a vacation, just get away, go stay in a resort for a weekend and get out of the hustle bustle that is Dumaguete, or the rut that becomes
Well, you
Dumaguete.
certainly got out of the hustle and bustle if you went to Oslo, I can tell you that. Like a ghost town after 8 o'clock. So what is it about Dumaguete then? You have travelled, you have seen a few places and bits and that. What is it particularly about Dumaguete that keeps you here as opposed to Bohol or Siquijor or some of the other places?
If I hadn't already had the relationships that I have here with people, I would probably give Bohol a chance.
Right.
But I also want to stay, you've got my daughter, so I want to stay close to her. And the relationships you build with people, at first it's the allure of the city, the people, you've got attractive young ladies always kind of flirting with you, hitting on you, whatever, it's an ego boost whenever you first get here. So that's,
What's going on?
Simon, look in the mirror, buddy. But then after a while, all that gets old, then you start building friendships with people. And I think I've built enough friendships here that those would be hard to just walk away from. I know you can make friends anywhere, but what are the quality of the people going to be like? And I've got a good set of quality people, I think, here.
Well, that's a recurring theme. Everyone I talk to, and that's why I'm here. That is the reality, and I say it so many times in videos. They're a good bunch of chaps. The majority of the expats here is strange.
The majority, yeah.
The majority in our circles.
You've got your bad apples, but those are going to be anywhere.
And I don't want to pry too much, obviously, so tell me to mind my own business. But your daughter Danielle, you get to see her okay? You don't have any problems with her, or is it difficult?
It was hard at first because, the ex, when she got pregnant, she thought we were just going to get back together and do whatever, but so it was hard at first because she was wanting to always get more. Oh, it's not enough, it's not enough. She took me to the barangay, and I told the barangay what I paid for my daughter, and the barangay stopped speaking in English. The barangay captain stopped speaking in English at all and just looked at her and said, "Are you stupid? You're about to chase this guy away. He takes very good care of you and his daughter. And you're about to just walk away with nothing because you keep trying to demand more whenever, if you took him to court, he's going to have to give you 5,000 pesos a month." So
There's a lot less than you're giving her already.
Yeah. So they stopped speaking in English, went straight to Bisaya talking to her, and then after that she's calmed down a lot, and now we get along pretty well as friends.
Okay, that's interesting. What happens to her though in terms of nationality?
I
Is she
have
an
to.
American citizen? Have you got hoops to go through?
I've got to
How
go
does that
through
work?
hoops. I've got to get her, but I've got to take her to Manila to do that, and I don't. She's only 2.5 years old. I don't
No, I'm
want
not
to.
saying you should. I'm just interested how it works.
I don't want to put her on a plane to take her up to Social Security yet. I'll do that in the next couple of years, but I want to let her get a little bit older where she can control her emotions a little bit more.
Okay.
Especially a plane ride. I don't want to be that one on the plane that's making the trip uncomfortable for
Yeah, yeah.
everybody.
But all going well when you eventually do it, she is, because you're her father, she's an American
Yes.
citizen. Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay. That'd be good for her for the future. Well, is there anything else you would like to tell us, Joe? I've enjoyed that chat, but I'm trying to think if I've missed anything out.
I'm trying to think if we've missed anything too. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know.
What's the worst thing about the Philippines or Dumaguete? What's the thing the one thing you could change if?
The humidity.
Or just the weather? Well, you can't change that, can you?
Yeah.
That's always going to
I wish somebody would turn the aircon on every once in a while. I mean, I know the constant weather is good for my joints, but man, sometimes, like at trivia nights, you'll be sitting there, and if it's a packed night, man, it's so hot in there. And I sit over close to the exit.
You do?
And it's still burning up in there.
Okay, well, I don't think they could do much about the weather, but I hear you.
But,
Hello. Hi.
afternoon. No, I don't think there's much I would change. I mean, like I said, everywhere you go, you're going to have idiots that get on your nerves. So, no matter where you're at, you're going to have that.
I was about to ask you what's one piece of advice you would give someone coming here, but I'm not going to do that because you're probably going to be joining me and John on the regular thing, so I'll ask you that question then. Well, still don't know what we're going to call it, but we are going to have a regular feature, so if there's anything else you would like to know about Joe, just whack it in the comments, and we will discuss it on one of the up and coming beach bums or beach potatoes.
We'll come up with a better name.
Whatever we decide to come
Actually,
up with.
you know, that's a good thing. Somebody come up with a name for us.
I've been doing that for the last 3 lives,
And nobody's come up with a name?
no, people have come up with names. I can't suggest just, but keep going. But we haven't got a winner yet. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions for the name of our Q&A segment that's soon to come, please whack it in the comments. Well, thanks for sitting down with us, Joe. I've enjoyed that chat, mate. It was very illuminating, interesting story that you have. Much appreciated, mate.
No problem, Simon.
Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be fantastic if you did. But whether you do or whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.